So this is a video of the pressure and temperature lab. So in this lab, we're going to be focusing on the relationship between the pressure of a gas and the temperature of the gas. So the purpose is to determine the relationship between pressure and temperature. For your hypothesis, I want you to do the same thing that you did for the pressure and volume lab and for the pressure and number lab. I want you to use the table in the back of your lab notebook that has the 6 different relationship graph options, and I want you to choose one of those as your prediction for the relationship between pressure and temperature. So your hypothesis should say, I predict that the relationship between pressure and temperature will be a fill-in-the-blank relationship, and you're going to choose one of the 6 options as your prediction. So this setup is a little bit different. So I still have my LabQuest, and this time we have 2 probes. We have our temperature probe collecting temperature data. We have our gas pressure sensor, and our gas pressure sensor this time is connected by the tube to an empty Erlenmeyer flask. Well, it's not empty. It already has gas in it, so it has air particles in it. And right now they're at room temperature, so they're moving around. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and hit play. My LabQuest is already set up. Okay, and I'm going to submerge my Erlenmeyer flask in my water. Now my temperature probe is still in my water. I'm going to wait for my pressure to stop increasing. So as you can see down here, my pressure is going up. My temperature is also slowly going down. I'm going to wait for both to kind of level out.
Caleb White, please call the main office. Caleb White, please call the office.
Okay, so it seems to have leveled out a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and hit keep. And I'm going to say that my temperature was 61 degrees because that's what the probe said. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, so that's my first data point. Now I'll take my flask out, set it off to the side, take my temperature probe out of the water. I'm going to pour out a little bit of my hot water. And then I'm going to add some cold water. And then I'm going to put my temperature probe back in. And then I'm going to put my Erlenmeyer flask back in. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wait for the temperature and the pressure to kind of level out. So that seems to be about good. So I'm going to go ahead and read my temperature. My temperature is 54.8 degrees Celsius, or 54.7. I'm going to hit keep. I'm going to type in 54.7, hit OK, and now I'm going to do that again. So I have 2 data points. I need at least 4 more. So I'm going to pour out some hot water. Add in some cold water. Temperature probe back in, Erlenmeyer flask back in. Okay, looks like things have leveled out a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead. My temperature is 47.2 degrees. I'm going to hit keep. 47.2. Hit OK. And then do it again. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to hit keep. 42.8 was my temperature. So I have 4 data points. My water's cooled a little bit more now. So I'm going to go ahead and collect another data point. Okay, I think that's about good. I'm going to go ahead, 38.4 is my temperature, so I'm going to hit keep. 38.4. Hit OK. Okay, I need one more data point, so I'm going to pour out some more hot water. Well, warm water now, it's not very hot. I think I might need some more cold water. Okay, and then flask back in. Okay, that looks to be about good. My temperature is 34.7. So I'm going to type in 34.7 and then hit OK. So I'll go ahead and hit stop. Now, the only graph we need is the temperature and pressure. We don't really care about temperature and temperature. So let's see. There we go. So there is my graph of pressure and temperature. So you'll want to sketch that in your lab notebook. And then there's the data table. So you can copy the data table into your lab notebook. That last pressure is 0.9923 is that last pressure. And the last temperature is 34.7. It's kind of hard to read. Okay, so you should be able to sketch the graph and copy in the data table. That way you have both. Don't forget to make some observations as well.